वन में ये है, वन में ये है। टाइम सभी के बराबर है। मकान 5 6 तक ला कैसे रहते हो? हाँ अभी सीधा काम करेंगे काम कल भी दे बताया काम वीडियो अच्छा होना पड़ेगा वरना मौसम में हट जाओ क्राइम ब्यूरो में मेरे दोस्त के कस्टमर है वो बता तो वो मेरे से आके मैंने तो हम आया तो सिंध हो गया तो वो चेक कर वो ये चेक एग्जामिन करने जाते हैं ये लोग ये टीम जो होती है क्राइम ब्यूरो वो तो जा रहे हैं वही उसको बोलते हैं मैं बताइए क्योंकि मैं सॉरी फंक्शन है तो मेरे रेस्ट मिलेगा
इसका बनता है
तो फंक्शन नहीं वो है 10 नहीं है ना वो है ना वो
6 कहाँ पर लगन रहेगा समझाओगे
मैं
अरे तुम ही आ जाना है रे तुम एक्सक्यूज मी
plus one more. Actually, I just did one 81 Please come in the line.
ये बता रहा था कि ऑडी वन इस साइड है
Was enthusiast and a PyDaily member. Sayam is a final year student from GGSIPU, FOSS contributor and a Pythonista. Rishabh is a student of final year from APJ AKTU, a FOSS enthusiast as well and a Pythonista. Let's begin.
Hi guys.
Hi.
Can you please move forward? It would be easy to like do the stuff. Please, everyone can move forward. Don't leave these seats empty.
You take to settle down. So it's going to be all gibberish before you settle. Unless you settle down. Take your time. Is दौरान भी how many people have programmed before? How many people made a hello world program in any language whatsoever? Cool. So we all are programmers. Amazing. That's good. Okay. How many people have programmed in Python before? Oh, okay. How many people have programmed hello world in Python? Okay. And how many people need introduction to Python? ये कुछ भी है जो पूछा उसमें हाथ खड़े कर दो कुछ ऐसा चल रहा है क्या ये तो beginners that's all right but distinction that's all okay so this is visible to everyone so what we're going to do for the basic introduction is जितने लोगों ने बना रखे हैं programs वो तो सारे बोर होने वाले हैं so bear with me for the next 10 to 15 minutes while we just brush through some very basic concepts of programming in Python. Okay, so what was the first program that you ever did in any language that you programmed for? Hello world. All right. So just iterate through a couple of steps. What do you do? What is the first thing you do when you try to write a program? पहला काम क्या करते हैं? नहीं. Back off. What is the first thing you do? You have a problem. You want to solve it by writing a program. What do you do? What do you
have
do?
to install the programming language.
Okay, थोड़ा सा और आगे आते हैं. Okay, what do you do? I'm not getting the answer I wanted. I'm going to give you the answer. अच्छा, okay. Fine, guys. Language चुन लिया. Okay, since we have already chosen a language, Python is the language of the day. So, what do we do? Editor. Open your favorite editor. I'm just going to go with the simplest one here. Don't judge me by my choice of it. And we choose a name for the file, right? So what is the program we wrote? Hello world. So my god, no header files. Wow, no semicolons. Did you really write a program? This doesn't look like one. Okay. I hope we've got available here. Yes. So, does that make sense to people? Okay? No. First timers. What did we do? Right? This was our program. People who are programming, people who are looking at it for the first time. Right. Okay, so what? Am I audible in the back? No. Am I audible in the back? All right. So all right. So we created a file. We wrote our first program, which is just one print statement, and we executed it. All right. So how many are following the instructions over here? How many have their laptops open? Excellent. So did you follow along? This is us executing the program. Just a second. Yeah, that'll be better. So, even the first time programmers, is this step clear? Did the first time programmers try this out? No. All right. Nevertheless, what was the next? So when you started learning, this is encrypted. What was the next thing you did when you were programming? Printing a statement on the screen, clear? Right? Right?
Variables, loops, conditions.
Variable loops, conditions. All right. So since this is an express course, we will combine all of that into one step. Okay. One of the favorite problems that teachers give you when they're trying to teach you programming is sum of numbers. That's just a little bit of jadoo here. What do you do? Sum of numbers? Okay, sorry. There you go. But okay, we'll come to the magical part later on. Right now, what we need to do is a small program on, let's say, finding whether a number is even or odd. Make sense? All right. So let's variables, right? One of the concepts that we had to talk about was variables. This is this is just a little bit of magic. Don't pay too much attention. This is a similar syntax. It says, this is the syntax which says, which is analogous to the main function in your golden days of programming, from your golden days of programming. We're just going to execute things over here. Rather just ignore it. How do you check if a number is even or odd? Mod. Right. Mod with? Okay. Then what? Is it odd or is it even? It's even. Right?
After that.
Right. Exactly. Good spot. Good spot. What is that? So how do we run the program? How do we run the program?
and the name of the file.
Right. I don't know. That was deliberate. Alright, so this was a very simple thing. We'll make some bigger hoops over here and try to add a few more features to our program. Okay. So one thing is we do not want to. One of the things we don't want to do is have the number 12 hard coded into a program, right? Hard coded is one of the worst practices you can do. Agreed? How many will agree? Hard coding is not good. One. सो रहे सारे क्या हुआ बहुत ज़्यादा बोरिंग हो गया बहुत ज़्यादा बोरिंग हो गया There was a yes from background. Okay, that is the only person who is not sleeping. Okay, so how do we take input in Python? People who have programmed before. Prompt. Input, exactly. So there is a number 1 equal to input brackets enter the number, the prompt, right? Anything? Okay, something went wrong. What did? Anybody? People who programmed before. What was the error? Exactly. You need to typecast this value. Yeah, by default the input function returns a string. So what we have to do is typecast it and get out. Now, and if we give it a, okay, no, it doesn't take command line arguments, has to be given 4. Right. So since this program is already is telling you whether your number is odd or even, yes.
Is it compulsory typecast? It works for me that is typecasting.
You probably are using Python 2, are you? No.
Maybe.
Raw input would basically do that. Okay, so this is one simple example. Okay, so this is simple extrapolation of the. Right, we need to call the function also. The main function, main program structure has to be put in, right? So what are the concepts you're learning over here? What? And so let's just see this works. Then we will go through step by step whatever happened in this program. Okay?
Excuse me, if
Yeah.
condition, that has to be number one. Variable name. Variable name is
In if condition.
yeah, number one.
Make sense? Yeah. Right. I just placed it below before because एक वो ले रहा था. Okay, so we can do one more condition over here. Simple thing. Just tell me if you're not following along. Okay. One. So what was the other example you did? Right. Hello. Right. Exactly. Good point. How many people got what just happened on the screen? I mean, I just typed a bunch of characters, and okay. So I am more interested in how many people did not get it. What did you not get? Hello. Good morning. Are we still awake? Yes. That was not a very good. Anyway. So, did you get what happened on the screen? Who did not get and what did you not get? So I can just walk through. इसे कुछ समझ नहीं आया क्या?
No, actually, when I started learning Python, I think I'll put this up. So why are we using num and number, like two different things over there?
Right, num and number. Who can tell me that?
It's an argument.
It's an argument. Okay. So how many people know? इस पे यहाँ पे function लिखा हुआ है, कितने लोगों को वो समझ में आया? Function होता क्या है?
Definite task को perform करता है.
Definite task को perform करता है. कैसे?
हमें define करना पड़ता है.
बनाते क्यों हैं? Call करने के लिए आगे. क्यों करना होता है call आगे? Repetitive tasks को. Because good programmers are lazy. They don't do the same thing over and over again. That is the most basic characteristic of a good programmer. You have to be as lazy as you can be, so that you do 10x more work, so that you can save a little bit of manual labor. Okay, so that's the concept of functions. So so did you get the who did not get the people who did not get the program? What's the concept did you get?
What is inversion name equal to name?
Right. So that is a structure which tells the program that this particular script has been run on the shell. This is the function being. This is the program being run, and it is not an imported module. Okay. We can get to that, but today we don't have time for that. This particular construct takes you. So the lines in that structure will run only if you run it as a program on the shell. If you import this module, the function will not be called. Make sense? Something else that people are missing? So the aim of this 5-minute introduction was to just get you familiar with the syntax. People who are new to this structure of Python. Few things that we have to keep in mind are the white spaces things. We do not put braces. So the Python interpreter understands the block of the program only with the help of the indentation we have got. How many people know what indentation is? All right. How many people? Did everybody get the indentation concept? All right. One thing that when you will try the examples out, one thing you have to keep in mind is that the indentation should always be the same. It doesn't matter which convention you follow, whether you put a tab or a space, but it always has to be the same. If you mix them, then the Python interpreter will go crazy and start abusing you in terms of errors that you'll not understand, or maybe you would. So if you don't want to be abused by the interpreter, use the same indentation. Because of time constraints, we should start with the macro bit demo now. Okay.
Hello everyone. This is Rishabh. So I would like to tell you that you should download an APK. The link for that APK is, I'm giving you the link.
So how many of you are on Windows? Fine. So we'll be going to use SSH and you need PuTTY for that. So you have to download PuTTY right now. And how many of you are on Linux? So Linux people, good news. You already have SSH and you should be able to connect to it. So you could go to the link bit.ly/. Let's give me shell. That's the APK. Just download it in your Android phones. Those who have a laptop and an Android phone should definitely download this APK so that we can try it out all the functions. And that's the link for Putty, bit.ly/putty86. So till the time you're
How many Windows users are there? So guys, please download this Putty.
So is everyone connected to the internet?
anyone has any problem, just raise your hand.
We'll come along and make it.
Yes.
So the SSID is PyDelhi and the password is PyDelhi Rocks. So once you type these two, I think it will again prompt you for a login. So you can again put in the same thing as username and password and it should work. Just minimize the window, don't close it, otherwise your session will be locked out. That's all.
Yes. Right. Yeah, we have the internet access. Are you asking
Only Windows users need these dependencies. Other users only need to have the APK.
So the people who are running on Linux just need the APK, and those who are on Windows needs the APK as well as Putty. What is the microbit? Anyone knows? Anyone? No one read the prerequisites that were on the website? I can see many people don't have their laptops right now. So let's start with the introduction. The chipset, which is based on ARM M0 processor, which has 16 KB of RAM. It's basically just like Raspberry Pi. How many of you heard about Raspberry Pi? Right. So it is just analogous to the microbit. So microbit was released by BBC and it is also known as a BBC microbit. It was released in UK in September 2015, which is very recent, and it is given to kids free of cost to teach them Python. So basically what we will be going to do is, let's start with the presentation till the people are installing.
Yeah. So has everybody been able to? किसका connect नहीं हुआ internet?
इंटरनेट कनेक्टेड है लेकिन
Link काम नहीं कर रहा. Okay. Can we try the link over there?
Sure.
Which link?
no Putty I have downloaded, but the other one.
The APK.
Yeah.
So it's /kiwi. bit.ly/kiwi.
Kiwi
It's bit of the Google Drive. Just download it on your Android phones and install it.
That is putty. Then you don't need it. You need just email it.
Right? How many Windows users are still confused? Raise your hands. Anyone facing problem, please raise your hand right now. Else once we are started.
Okay, so let's move ahead. Okay.
Yeah, so yes,
So guys, we need 6 volunteers right from everywhere at random. So anyone from the front who want to volunteer? Okay.
Who are connected to the net, who are connected, who have installed both the Android app as well as they can SSH.
So, 6 volunteers are required who have the app installed, and who can SSH.
And who are connected to JNU Wi-Fi. 3 conditions.
3 conditions. Huh? Okay, but we just need
Not needed for the internet, we'll provide it. Just you should be able to SSH.
one first requirement, Android apps, right?
Yeah.
That's the first thing. How many people have got their apps working? Okay, 1, 2, fine. So,
Yeah.
So-
these 3 people.
okay, so instructions will be relayed towards you. Just be aware that instructions are coming. Okay, second thing.
Second thing is they should be able to SSH. We'll try.
We are trying. We have a limit. We does have a limitation because of the firewall. We are unable to do the SSH for everyone. So we have come up with a router. So we need only 6 volunteers at random from everywhere. So from front.
Think काफी है.
Yeah. So these 3 people, please connect to Airtel Wi-Fi. Firewall.
So just SSH into your phones.
Right. Right. So both the device
Downloaded
and
the application?
thing are on the same network. Yeah. So you need to put in this is the IP. SSH
How many of you are now able to SSH into your devices? One person.
Basically, you need to be you have to be on the same network so that you can SSH into your device.
So if your Wi-Fi is not working, what you could do is you could create a hotspot from your Android device and connect to the same hotspot from your laptop, and it would work. So everyone is able to SSH into their phones, right?
No. Give 5 minutes break. Everybody will connect. Ajo help them.
Okay, who needs help? Please raise your hands who are able to SSH into your phones. Right, so let's move forward.
We will follow it from here.
Just tap on it and you will get 3 options. Everyone is able to SSH, right?
So are you getting that screen?
How many of you are getting the screen?
Fine, guys. There is a console.
Just tap on that hamburger icon.
I'm connected.
Got that? So you'll be getting 3 options: remote, plier, and console. So what you need to do is you need to tap on the plier, and it is the documentation of how we are going to implement things.
So everyone have opened the plier? Those who are running the application.
So now from your laptop, once you have SSH into your phone, you have to just type some commands. So the first command, let's have your flash turned on. So type from plier in your laptops. Once you have SSH, just type from plier. Everyone should be able to see it from.
So he is now doing that step which everyone else has. He's the late. सबसे last में वही कर रहा है.
So now we have the interpreter ready. We have SSL into our phones. You should see this, right? Everyone is getting this? Yes. Fine. So what you need to do is go into your Android app, click on plier. You'll get the instructions on how to execute commands. Everyone is on this step, right? Raise your hands. Awesome.
So can anyone please read me out the code for TTS text to speech?
Please raise your hand.
Voluntarily.
Yeah.
From plier import TTS and then in the next line TTS.speak.
Yeah.
Okay, in bracket text then bracket.
So once you enter this command, just
Please turn on your. Please excuse.
so I'm showing this on this
Turn on
phone.
the volume of your mobile phone.
Turn on the volume of your mobile phone and let's see.
Welcome to the Delhi CONF.
See, it's speaking what we just typed in.
Welcome to the Delhi CONF.
Right? So we are essentially
You able to do that?
How many of you are able to do that? Awesome. Awesome. So we are moving to next command. So let's turn off the flash of your phones. Right? So anyone, any volunteer who could speak the command for flash? Flash.
Welcome to the Delhi Conf.
Anyone? Come on. Let's make this session interactive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
From plier.
From plier import flash.
Just hold on for a minute. So,
And see, the flash is turned on. And once we do flash dot off, it's off. So essentially what we are doing is, we are using our mobile phones as microbit and then controlling from our own laptop.
so any other?
How many of you are in the audience? Right, I can see many flash. So you could just turn it off on your factory or just...
People on the left are showing their flashes. People on the right, this side.
Yeah, I can see the flash.
Yeah, fine.
Awesome.
To turn off the flash, you have to type flash.off.
So you could execute flash dot off, right? Just turn off your flash.
Otherwise, there will be no battery in your mobile phone left. Don't forget to turn it off, please, guys.
Okay, so let's move on to the next command. So let's show you how accelerometer works, right? So anyone who will read the command for accelerometer?
Accelerometer, yeah.
From plier. Import accelerometer. Accelerometer.enable.
Okay, so this device does not have the accelerometer. it has a dependency. So is there anyone who is having the accelerometer in their mobile phone? Yeah, so they can try it on.
Yeah, those people can execute that command and it will work.
It is mandatory requirement that your hardware should be up to date.
So we'll be moving on to the next command. So let's operate your vibrator, the vibrator of your phone.
It will showcase a movement. The movement you will be making with your mobile device. It will showcase that, the reading. While you move your mobile random.
Basically, it will show you the orientation of your device. So next is the vibrator. Let's
So
turn
anyone, please can you read out the code for vibrator?
Yeah.
Next time vibrator. Dot vibrate for 10 Dot vibrate.
Hey people, a bit of warning here. Don't put more than 10 or 20 here as an argument. Just don't put it. So yeah, so guys, it's vibrating. It's vibrating. It's just vibrating. How many of you are able to replicate this? Awesome. So just don't give a larger value here, or else we are not responsible for anything that you do with your devices.
Or Android.
So guys, we are now doing the code for compass. So please can anyone read out the code for compass? Yeah. Next line.
Who was speaking? Next line.
So another thing, you need to have compass in your mobile phone. So people who are having compass in their mobile phone, are you able to do it? Now we are trying for orientation.
So from flyer import orientation.
Orientation dot set.
Yeah, orientation
Dot set.
dot set
Underscore landscape.
landscape. It's already in landscape. Okay, so
Akshay.
So since it is already in landscape,
Since the mobile phone is, the application is already in a landscape mode, so we should first try the portrait mode. Fine.
And the username it will ask is admin and password is you are connected with the same hotspot.
So as soon as you turn on and get into the application. So guys, are you curious about knowing the battery stats of your mobile phone? So please anyone read out the code for battery.
hey guys, let's now move on to the battery stats. How many of you are able to follow what we have done till right now? Raise your hands.
Okay, so there are many people. So now we are getting the stats of battery of our mobile phone. Fine.
So anyone would like to read the battery command?
Import battery.
Yeah, from prior import battery.
Next line battery dot status.
Okay, now battery dot status.
So you are getting the percentage. Right now the mobile is 64% charged. So people right there, are you able to do that?
How many of you are able to execute this command? So yes, it's charging right now. So let's move on to the code for unique ID. Anyone would like to read?
Our phone don't have debate. Battery model is not found. Battery model is not found. Okay, B small. This instruction B capital.
So you are able to see that ID.
How many of you are able to get this ID? Please raise your hands. Okay, I can see many. So what are people doing right here? Yeah, please show your hands if you are able to execute it.
So now for the SMS, we will try to send out the SMS right from your mobile phone.
So yes, it would cost you money. So let's send a SMS right from the shell itself. So you need to do from plier. So we'll give the phone number here and then the message which we have to send.
So anyone, please tell me your mobile phone number.
96
9
6
6
540
540
86
86
744
7
44.
44. Is the mobile number right?
Okay. Welcome to Finally Con.
So you'll be getting a SMS shortly.
Did you receive the SMS?
What?
I have also sent him the message. He has received mine, but not yours.
Okay, fine. So basically you got the message on your mobile phone, right? Awesome. So guys, we can have the questions now.
So we are open for questions.
Any questions?
Anyone has any doubts?
Hello. Hi. So far we have seen only these magics, but I mean, as a technical person, people would like to know like the technicalities behind these things, the libraries you have used.
Can you speak a little bit louder?
Yeah. So is it audible now?
Yeah.
So what I'm trying to say is like so far we have seen these magics, I mean, for me, like even being a Python programmer, I just see these things like a magic. So I mean, as a technical person, we would like to know the technicalities behind it, the libraries. I mean, the tools you have used to demonstrate these things.
Okay, so essentially what you get here is not any magic, but it's a simple Python shell and you could just execute whatever you could do in Python. So essentially this would work here, right? This thing entirely is a Python shell.
What plier is, what library does it? Will you know what kind of library it is?
So Plier gives you an SSH access to your device from which you are controlling the access. Yeah, Flyer is an abstraction library that I was telling. The Flyer is an abstraction library. By using the Flyer, you are controlling the hardware of your mobile phone. As Microbit was an initiative to control the hardware, from by coding, you can control the hardware. You can turn on and turn off the LEDs. You can play different things with that. So in technical aspect here, the Microbit initiative was for students or for the beginners to get them into the coding part, to introduce themselves to the coding. So it was it was an initiative in USA. They UK. So they give the Microbit devices to the students there to get themselves trained for coding.
So is this TV Shell an open source platform or you have?
Yes, it's open source.
So anybody can download it, I mean, and play with this thing, by installing this modification in their mobile phone.
Any more questions? Anyone?
Say, for example, if I want to modify some of its functionalities, will I have to go to this remote KV thing, or will I have to look for this Flyer library and I will have to write some code on top of this library, or if I have to modify it in just one sentence?
So since the code is open source, you could go to the GitHub repository and you could just modify whatever you want. Just send us a pull request. If we like it, we just merge it.
Okay, so you guys are working on it, or?
No, so this is made by Akshay. He's yeah, this is by Kiwi developers. So he's
Okay.
one of the Kiwi developers.
Okay. Alright.
Is it necessary that both the systems are connected on the same network?
Yeah.
This is the basic requirement.
So essentially what you need for SSH is the IP address, and since JNU is right now blocking because of firewalls, so it's working for some people. But we have some issues with the internet, so we decided to turn on the hotspot. Any more questions? Anyone?
We can't change anything of that device by these commands.
Didn't get you.
Change as in IP address.
The IP addresses. The IP address you can give your static IP address.
No, if I want to change the device IP address by any command, then
Right now it's not there. You can control the hardware of your mobile phone.
Once you connect it on the internet, it would dynamically once you are connected to the internet, it would dynamically allocate you an IP address from the pool, right? Did you get this concept? You know now. That's it. Once you get the IP address, you could SSH into the phone, and you could. What you are essentially doing from SSH is you are controlling your mobile devices using it as a microbit from your laptop. It's nothing like magic going on. What you are essentially doing is you're just controlling it via another device, right? Am I clear? Awesome. So, yeah.
What is the use of इसमें हमें अपना PC के थ्रू हम फोन कंट्रोल कर रहे हैं हम
Yeah, right. You are controlling the hardware of your mobile phone from the PC. Yeah, you are turning the flash on, turning the flash off. You are sending the messages.
This thing I can do from my phone very easily.
Yeah, the point is education.
Yeah, it is coding.
So actually the point is
Interactive.
see, this was essentially for microbits, but since microbits are not available here, so what and people have Android phones, so we just made an APK so that they could easily see how microbit is controlled. Right? This is for students to learn coding.
So you built this APK in Python or in the
Kiwi.
Kiwi means
Yeah, you can build an APK in Kiwi.
in Python, right?
Yeah, fine.
Wouldn't it be good like you could have built in Java or on Android SDK? Because I mean the question behind is like how are you dealing with this like environmental difference?
Yeah, we could have done it with Java, but we are Python enthusiasts. We are Python.
That's fine. I mean the point of asking is like how are you dealing with this environmental difference?
see,
Like you
the
have
point-
written an application in Python and running it on Java platform. So is this Kiwi library like capable enough to handle these things, or optimize your application so that it could be run on an Android platform or any other platform for that matter?
So essentially there are two things, right? first of all, this is for microbits, and this is for the kids who are of aged 7-year-old. So essentially, a kid cannot learn Java when he's 7, but Python is like he could learn it, right? Second is Kiwi is a UI framework from which you can essentially make web apps, you could make Android apps, and you could essentially make iOS apps. Am I clear? Right? We can meet up. So it's giving you a code. Minus P 8000 stands for you're actually giving an argument which says port is 8000. So you give an IP address, you give a port. So essentially the process.
Sorry guys, we are running out of time. There is another talk scheduled right after this. So we can meet you outside. Fine? Yeah. Thank you.
Stick around and have fun. So please welcome Ashutosh and Nupur on the stage.
Okay. Okay, this is all about elongating your battery life. So, anybody would like to volunteer and tell me what problems do you essentially have with your batteries? Anyone? We are here to solve some of them, so we'd like to know. Yeah?
Battery backup is very low in iPhone.
That is exactly what is all this is about. We'll come to that. Anything else?
It takes very long time to charge.
Okay, we are essentially dealing with lithium-ion batteries here, and lithium-ion batteries are specialized in Apple phones like iPhones and the tablets and Mac. And if you're using an Android phone, you might be using a nickel-cadmium battery. See, what a nickel-cadmium battery and lithium-ion battery has a difference is that for a nickel-cadmium battery, a full charge is means you charge when your system is fully discharged. That is a better option. And for lithium-ion batteries, if you keep it on a partial charge, that is a better option. Okay, so that is the difference. We have we'll be going on with it in a minute.
तो ऐसे ही रहता है, not by choice but.
Okay, so here we are. Okay, this is Nupur and this is Ashutosh. We are final year students from APJ AKTU University.
That doesn't matter, okay.
Exactly. Okay. So, how did we get this idea?
Yeah. So actually the problem we faced was challenging the battery and the heat problem. Okay. So most of the users will switch to Linux from Windows face this problem which have graphic cards. So there is a technology in Lenovo, Samsung for Windows users and for Mac that this saves the battery. This was the battery charging at 80%. So we were like कि यार ये कैसे हो रहा है यार मतलब ये क्यों हो रहा है मतलब how this is efficient in Windows and फिर we did a research over it and we came back to a conclusion and making that idea for every laptop we switched back हमने hardware connect किया and from this hardware we can control all the battery cycles. Now we will be telling about what is battery cycles and how you can elongate the battery life.
Basically, the cutoff, like 80%, if you have to limit your charging to a certain percentage, you don't have to control it manually. We developed a code for it. That is what is going on here. Okay, so what is a battery cycle? A battery cycle is when a system, a device is completely discharged and then fully charged. That is one battery cycle. Okay. Okay, the material required is?
So material required, your system, basically मतलब आपका system तो चाहिए ना, वरना आप बताओगे किसका? So one is your system, Arduino. Anyone heard of it? So Arduino, Raspberry, sounds something interesting. So that is a hardware we are using with relay. Anyone knows what is relay? So relay is a device which we use to cut off the power source for the AC current, as in switch on and off. Okay, so that's it. And how does it work? The main concept, that what we are doing, how this is efficient.